I'm struggling. And my attitude on everything is like, meh, I'll do it later. We're gonna talk about feeling overwhelmed. And for me right now, I'm feeling very overwhelmed with balancing work and family life. I bet that's pretty common, right? I feel more overwhelmed now than I did when the kids were younger. I was able to implement those tasks in my routine a lot easier. And I think it's because we were so structured, because we had to be. They had their nap times, their lunch times, the school, the carpool, the activities. So because of their routines, I knew when I needed to put my time blocks, and in those time blocks where my routines needed to fall and get them done. It doesn't mean that I did things perfectly and things ran smoothly. I've shared my ups and downs here on my channel with my anxiety and ADHD. Now that the kids are older and I only have 2 at home, they still have their activities and schedules, but it's not so run. So there's more room now to let things just kind of slide. I've been learning about when kids leave the nest and there's these major transitions in our life. It'll create some instability and shake things up where like our daily routines and structure either loses motivation or completely goes out the window. I've had a lot going on in the last 5 years. We moved twice in 1 year. Our daughter and her sweet husband got married during a pandemic. We had major life changes with our oldest son that required Derek and I to give our all to. Then he leaves the nest and joins the army and is far away from home. We got back on our feet and recently just moved. So all these transitions in our life completely disrupted the force in me. So when it's coming to implementing some things in my routines or work life, just trying to balance it all is having me feel very overwhelmed. And now with my ADHD, I feel like a freaking hot mess. So there are things that we need to do, should do, and things we desperately want to do. I want to read a book. That's not gonna happen. So here's what I'm working on. You might want to jot this down. What are some things in our life or in our day-to-day that are out of our control? Think about what are the things that actually don't need to get done or don't actually need to be done today or in a certain time block. Then think about what are the things that you feel obligated to do. What are the things that you can do that you could pass on that someone else can do? It takes a huge burden off your shoulders. And lastly, what are some things that you're making a priority that are not really a priority and are a time suck? We wear many hats, or should I say aprons. So when does the mom apron go on?
Dad, this is my mommy.
The career woman, the wife, when do those aprons go on? And this is what I'm battling with right now. I want to be everywhere. I want to do everything. It's having me feel very overwhelmed. So I need to look at all the areas of my life where my priorities are like a pie. I would love for each piece of that pie to be even, and I'm able to balance through it all. But there's times and seasons in our life where we need to make certain pieces of the pie bigger. It's just recognizing when and being okay with it. I think what brings on a lot of my overwhelm, I think I have more time. I could take this big list or this big chunk of to-dos and get it done in this a lot of time. No, it never happens. I wouldn't overload your to-do list. What are the top 3 things that I would absolutely love to like make a priority for today and knock out? So in my daily planner, I have the top 3. Where in my block schedule can I fit these things? And they'll get done because I'm able to weed through all the little busy work and crap and go, I don't need to do that. That can wait. That doesn't have to be done. These are the things that I need to do to hit my goal. One way that I've been encouraged with overwhelm is to brain dump. Get everything that's in my head and just get it out and write it on paper. Break things down. When we're overwhelmed, it's hard to know where to start and really see the priorities. I have a great section in my planner where you can jot down everything that's in your head, all your to-dos. And the page right next to it has 4 sections and you can break them down in there. Then you can really see where maybe your top 3 could be for the day or for each day during the week. We can start to identify the steps and make an action plan to get there. But the key is to focus on one task at a time because we definitely don't want to bring on that overwhelm again, right? I'm gonna have to be highly medicated. Yeah, that does sound good. I won't lie, since we moved into our new home, my routines have been, well, non-existent. But a lot of my routines, like the tasks that I have in my routines, are natural habits. So things in my morning routine, I don't even think about, I could just do them automatically. Some things in my night routine, same way. So it's just learning to have these tasks in our routines become ritual, become habit. So I really need to look at my time management. So let's talk about block schedules. It's blocks of time where you do specific things. And those are where your routines fall into. Block 1 is your morning block, and this is where you do your morning routine. So for me, this is where I start with a load of laundry. I'll make the bed, wipe down the bathroom. Either I or somebody else will empty the dishwasher. I think about dinner tonight. Do I need to pull anything out? And check my planner and calendar. For block 2, it switches. I'm either homeschooling, I'm working in my business, or it's a film day, dinner block. This is when I'm preparing dinner, cleaning up. The last block of the night is my evening routine. This is when I'm checking the clutter spots. The kids are doing their chores. We're taking out the trash. We're getting our bags ready to leave the house for the next day. Thinking about dinner for tomorrow. Do I need to take anything out of the freezer? And I'm definitely going over my planner. What is happening tomorrow? I actually did a live show here on YouTube the beginning of the year, and I went over some of my block schedules in my planner. How am I going to balance my work life and my home life? There's certain days of the week I homeschool my daughter, and there's certain days of the week she is at school. So this is how I map it out in my planner. This was the morning. This was when we left the house. This was homeschool. This was work. And then at 4 o'clock, I needed to prep dinner. So my work window was only 1 to 3 p.m. That's not a long time. So am I gonna do just busy work, or am I prepping for that video that needs to get to my editor? And in my life and what I do, everything is kind of a filming day. There's aspects of this being my workspace that I'm filming even when it's in the evening when I don't want to be. So what I had to do was go, no. We definitely need film days. So Tuesdays, it is a full film day. So on this day, I had filming from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. scheduled and blocked out, which means nothing else is coming in here. I have to say no to things. That's the other tip. We have got to learn to say no. And it's okay to say no. You're not being a, you're not. Know your boundaries, especially if you work from home. I am giving myself permission that Wednesdays is a backup day to finish Tuesday's video. Yes, things are going to pop up, right? Some things are out of my control, and we're going to have to look at things a little differently. Sometimes Tuesdays are the only days that I can do my nail lady, and I need to roll with that. Okay, but I still want to film on Tuesdays. I look at my content, I'm like, you know what? Then on those Tuesdays that I'm not here, where it takes me out of the house, those are the days that I go to Sam's Club, to Costco, where I'm out in the stores with you. Those of us who have ADHD get bored with our routines very quickly. So I learned to switch things up in the routine, but this doesn't mean I do a complete overhaul, invent something new. It's just a tweak. I have this little kid rebellion in me where if someone's routine is telling me what I need to do, I will fight against it. Okay, we're in zone 4, the bedrooms, and I'm like, I'm really not feeling it. There's not much I have to do to declutter or clean this week in there. I really don't want to focus on that. My energy, my desire, my motivation is to be in the kitchen in zone 2. And I really have the urge to clean out the fridge or wipe down my cupboards or really just get in and declutter the pantry. In the beginning of every one of my planners, there's a section on popping into zone cleaning. And if you don't know what zone cleaning is, it's part of the Fly Lady cleaning method. Each week of the month, we're given a certain area of our home to tackle. This is where we do the deep stuff, whether it's decluttering or cleaning. So I took her zone cleaning method and switched things up. I broke it down more. It has like a detailed list, which my ADHD loves because I can just pick one of those blocks and nail it out in an hour if I wanted to. So my zone 1 are entrances. Zone 2 is the kitchen. We have a section for appliances. Then there's your pantry, your cupboards, and your dining room. Zone 3, it's the bathroom and laundry. Zone 4 are the bedrooms. Zone 5 is the living rooms. And I broke it down into the living room and family room and your home office. And then I created a zone 6. And this is for any area that's not covered. You can create it, make it your own. I don't have to look at the whole big picture and get overwhelmed. Like I could break it down in those sections during the week. You know, I could take 20 minutes, I could take an hour, take a Saturday and just nail it out. This is where I'm being drawn to. And for me, I have to go where that energy is. Go where your energy falls. For example, I'm not a morning person. It's not happening. I've tried to go to bed on time and wake up at a normal time, like 6 or 7 in the morning. I am groggy. It takes me a long time to wake up. So I'm not gonna put in the morning these big to-dos to tackle. It's not happening. So during the time blocks where I have my most energy, that's when I'm going to nail a project. I'm going to structure my block scheduling, right? My time blocks to where I am the most alert. I can get things done. My mind is sharp. You know, if I need to hyper focus, I can hyper focus high, especially if I get a dopamine hit. So I'm able to get a project done. So maybe I could put all the little busy work, you know, if it's cleaning and chores like that, things I don't even think about, right, in my morning routine. At night, finish those things when I have energy to clean. I do a lot of cleaning at night. That's fine. I'm getting things done. So I don't feel guilty that I didn't do it in the structure where some of our favorite like cleaning and organizing gurus say to do, right? But I do have my time blocks because I want to be able to clock into work and clock out. I look like I'm overwhelmed. I have spent the day in the kitchen making make-ahead meals. So when I get overwhelmed and I just feel the weight of everything of all that I have to do, the one thing that really suffers in my life is getting meals on the table. That is the biggest mom guilt that I have. I notice that when I can take things off my to-do list, really stick to block scheduling and not hyper focus on an area, the meals get cooked. Nothing makes me feel calmer, happier than when I could do that for my family. I shared in a few videos where I talk about my anxiety and ADHD and why I do make ahead meals. I didn't know when my anxiety and ADHD would put me in a state of paralysis where I couldn't do anything and make a meal for my family. If you've never experienced anxiety or PTSD, you're lucky. When people say like that paralysis, that stuck feeling, like in here you want to do all the things and you're so motivated but you're stuck, like body-wise, it's for real. I fell in love with make-ahead meals and freezer meals because when one of those days hits where I just could not, there's food for my family. They are more than just to give you a leg up on the week. They truly are a lifesaver for you, for your wallet, for your family, when you just can't do. When you just can't. It's a big part of who I am, and she's in her apron. So if this is something you struggle with in one of your goals, make some make-ahead meals and freezer meals. What are you making tonight for dinner? Can you double or triple that batch and put that in the freezer so that way you have a couple of meals for later? That is actually the easiest way to get some make-ahead meals and freezer meals in your freezer for you. Or have a dedicating cooking day. Today was my dedicated cooking day. I'm exhausted, but I'm so happy I have some things in the freezer. If you struggle with anxiety like I do have a video on some techniques that I use that help me out a lot. 2023, I was burnt out. I still feel a little bit of that burnout, right? And I had to take a step back. I didn't want to, I kind of fought against it, but my body and brain were like, you need to slow down. And lastly, let's take time for ourselves. I have been encouraged by my therapist to go back to the things that I love to do. And I had to think about it. I'm like, what do I love to do? What is it? Oh yeah, I love cross stitching and I love doing puzzles. Like, what are the things that you loved or used to love to do that you don't do anymore? Remember in the beginning when I said I would really love to read a book? I haven't started a book and finished it in years, you guys. I do a lot of like audible and listening to books. I'll sit down and open my scriptures and do some journaling, but my goal is to read a book. So this is something I'm trying to do, because if we don't, we get burnout. Go back and do the things that we love to do to be able to unwind and kick some of that overwhelm away. And remember, it's completely normal to feel this way, especially when life throws us so many changes and challenges. By looking at our to-dos, prioritizing what truly matters, and giving ourselves grace, we can start to find a balance that works for us. And seek support when you need it. There's only one you. Also, if you've gone through the empty nest stage, if you have any tips on how I could walk through this gracefully, I would love to have them. Thank you, friends, for joining me, and I will see you real soon. Bye.